Hi, my name is Ed Leff, and I was a participant on the Tao Journeys trip to Wudang Mountain in China in November of 2017. I went with Tao Journeys and Terry Hodgkinson and five other people were along on the trip. And I can't recommend highly enough Tao Journeys. First of all, they're extremely well organized and was run really well. I ran into an issue 2 days before the trip. I discovered that my flight was going to be canceled, and I actually had to move my flight up a day. And within an hour of notifying Dow Journeys that this was happening, they had arranged for a cab to pick me up at the airport and for a hotel room. And that took what was potentially a stressful situation and made it run very smoothly and very relaxing. Everything ran smoothly on the trip. Nothing felt rushed. Sometimes on tours you feel like you're being herded from one place to the other. It was never that way. We had plenty of time to look around and see the things that we were each interested in. And the other thing too was that it was flexible. It was never that we have to stick to this itinerary if there was things that the group wanted to see. The time was taken to see it or to change the itinerary. We had seen the Taoist prayer ceremony at Wudang Mountain, and I think everybody on the trip really enjoyed that. And when we expressed how much we enjoyed it to Terry, arrangements were made for us to go back and actually see it again. And that was something I think that was, at least for me anyway, and I think for everybody, was really appreciated to have that flexibility to do that. Another thing that I can't recommend highly enough is the people that went along on the trip. It was truly an opportunity to go along with some very like-minded people and also some very interesting people. I met some people that I think will be friends for life. They were all very interesting in their own way. You spend a lot of time together with these people, whether it's on the road traveling, on the buses going through Wudang, through the many meals that we had. We all sat together and ate our meals, and it made for some really fantastic and interesting dinner time conversation. And everybody had different experiences, so everybody came from a different perspective, and it was really interesting to hear their perspectives on just on life, on where they live, but also on how the trip to Wudang and China was affecting them as well. One night I remember we were talking about the things on the trip that everybody enjoyed the most, and what was interesting is that everybody kind of had a different thing that was a favorite, and I think it had to do with maybe what you were trying to get out of the trip. And the thing about the trip is there's so many things that you can get out of it. Depending on what you want to see, the Great Wall was fascinating for me to see, and I'm so glad I had an opportunity to be there. And the Forbidden City as well, and those were the things we saw outside of, in Beijing. And Terry really helped bring those areas to life because, his knowledge and understanding of the area and of the history really enhanced the experience of visiting those places. And then there was Wudang. For me, that was the highlight of the trip. That's why I went on the trip. I wanted to see the birthplace of Tai Chi. I've been a long-time Tai Chi practitioner. I was excited to learn a Tai Chi form with one of the teachers from one of the Wudang schools, and that was a fascinating opportunity. But the other thing about Wudang too was, there's the external factors about it, the learning the Tai Chi, but there was also the internal aspect of it. And that was something that I think stays with me even to today. It was just that sense of peace and calm, and everything just kind of slowed down. I had mentioned earlier that we went for that second time to the Taoist prayer ceremony, and that was at the Purple Heaven Palace. And one of the things that I really enjoyed the most was right after that ceremony, I had the opportunity to spend a little extra time in the Purple Heaven Palace by myself, and just to kind of take in the peace and quiet. And it's something that I think I will always remember. And there's also that great sense of accomplishment as well. The climb up to the Golden Palace was it was a lot of work, and it was a good healthy climb up all those stairs, and we all made it, and I think everybody made it with big smiles on our face because it was such a sense of accomplishment. I know it's a pilgrimage for lots of Taoists, and you can understand why, because it's a beautiful hike up the mountain, and it is such a tremendous accomplishment. And then when you get to the top and you see this amazing structure, that it was certainly one of the highlights of my life. And I think lastly, when you go to a foreign country, you're always wondering about the food, and are you going to like the food? And the food was delicious. Every meal that we had, the food was fresh. Since I've gotten home, I've been trying to recreate a lot of the meals that we've had. Still, that's a work in progress. But the food was delicious. Meal times was great, as I think I indicated before. So I think for all those reasons, whatever your interest is in going to China, whether it's Tai Chi, whether it's meditation, whether it's just to see a fascinating country, they're all things that you will experience if you take the trip with Tao Journeys. And I can't highly recommend enough Terry Hodgkinson and Tao Journeys. I would certainly love the opportunity to go do the trip all over again. I've recommended it to my friends, and I would recommend it to anybody who asked.